Well, this week started out with a bit of a project. The Xbox was registering 0 TV channels. Well, I started out by verifying that the antenna in the attic was pointed in the right direction. That worked out. Well, there's a bit of a backstory as to what was going on outside. When we first moved into our house, the previous owners had a satellite dish. Well, I didn't want a satellite dish, so I took it down. In my haste, I cut the wires that the dish was attached to without checking to see exactly what they were. Well, there were 3 wires. One went up to the attic, the other went down to the TV. I'm still not sure what the third one went to, but it doesn't enter into the story. So when I got that all figured out, I set up this little rinky-dink configuration. Well, this summer we switched to Xfinity for our internet. Well, I think when they were out working on the internet, they bumped my setup and made it so that it no longer connected to the antenna. So I just pushed everything back together and voila, we have channels. We were able to get the entire situation diagnosed and repaired before kickoff and enjoy the entire game and watch the Broncos defeat the Titans. Again on Monday night, Alex made us dinner. He not only gets experience in making creative meals, but he also gets the experience of coming up with different platings. Tuesday night with the youth was Noodle night. First, we had a spaghetti eating contest. Then we had a bit of a food fight, and finally we played some games with the dried pasta noodles.
I read Belladonna by Adalyn Grace, and it was my book club read. I gotta say that I wanted it to be a little bit different than it was, but it was kind of a gothic story and reminded me a little of the book Rebecca I read earlier in the year about a young woman who, of course, is an orphan and gets eventually placed with some family members in an estate where they feel like they're being haunted by the late mother. It was a mystery. It had kind of a fantasy paranormal aspect to it. It wasn't too ghosty, but there was definitely powers involved. The thing that was the most interesting and maybe confusing was that one of the main characters was Death. And Death was this character that had followed this girl around and had known her since she was young and then suddenly becomes the love interest. I felt like there was some problems with that, but it was interesting. I don't know that it was interesting enough that I'm going to read the rest of this series, but it was a good discussion for book club.
A bit of a mixed blessing this week. Well, Alex got a new job at the Brinkerhoff. However, that means that he's being asked to trim down his beard. Well, out of solidarity, I also trimmed mine down. The funny thing is that Alex still looks good. Thursday morning, as I was taking the trash out, it was the weirdest thing. There were just these swarms of crows. The crows were just all over the entire neighborhood. The neighbors' houses were peaked with it, and yeah, there were just crows everywhere. Melissa had staff day on Friday with her library team. Staff day is an opportunity for all the library staff in the county to get together and sort of get on the same page. All of the libraries are closed for the day to ensure maximum availability. There's a keynote address, but then there's also electives where they can go and get stretched in new directions or to connect with members from their own branch and get motivated together.